Bucky Brooks back here on the show. How are you, Bucky?
I'm good, Rich. How you doing?
I'm doing great. So let's get to it right here. Who has impressed the most? Who's shown up and you're like, okay, that's what I expected from the tape?
Well, obviously, Rich, everything is around the quarterbacks here. People were buzzed about the quarterbacks that are in attendance. It starts with Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, two guys that many regard within the top four of the quarterbacks in the class. And I think both of those guys have shown impressive flashes. When it comes to Baker Mayfield, everyone understands that he is a guy who's the ultimate gamer. The more bodies you put on the field, the better he plays. And so going from individual to 7-on-7 to team drills, the more they put on him, the better he performs. Throws a great timing and anticipation, has a knack about him. And I think the most impressive part of him is his alpha personality. You can tell that he's a natural leader. Guys gravitate towards him. And when you're trying to figure out which quarterback has the right mix, you can tell that Baker Mayfield has the it stuff inside that makes people want to play for him. And Josh Allen, you're talking about a guy that is probably the perfect quarterback on paper, meaning size, talent, tools. He has all the things that you look for in a prototypical quarterback. He can spin it. He's athletic. He can make plays in the pocket and outside the pocket. The biggest thing that's preventing people from jumping all in on Josh Allen is his consistency. Inconsistent as a thrower, has been inconsistent with his ball placement. Regardless of that, there's still some coaches that believe with that kind of talent, you take a chance on him because you can develop the other stuff, and he could be a frontline player at the next level.
And also, Bucky, we've played a couple of his sound bites from the Senior Bowl this week, one where he expertly handled the idea of being drafted by Cleveland, saying that he wants to be that guy, that whoever is that guy is going to be lionized as the guy forever, and he wants to be in that position. And then when asked about what would you say to Cleveland if they pass up on you, he expertly handled that also. For a kid that's playing in Wyoming, he seems to be media ready too, to me, Bucky.
Yeah, he's certainly media savvy. He certainly has an understanding of what is going to be asked of him, and he wants to be the quote-unquote guy when he gets to the next level. The way he handled the Cleveland situation, the way he's handled some of the tough questions that we've lobbed at him, because they're questions about his ability to compete against elite competition based on how he performed against Power 5 schools at Wyoming. 1 touchdown, 8 interceptions. Whenever he played in a big game, he didn't necessarily perform like the best guy on the field. And so as an evaluator, you're trying to figure out, do I weight my evaluation on his potential or his production? He is trying to answer those questions down here in Senior Bowl this week.
Okay. Bucky Brooks joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show from Mobile, Alabama. And then when it comes down to it, first blush, here we are on the outset of Super Bowl week. Do you think the first overall quarterback is in Mobile today?
No. I don't think the first overall quarterback is in Mobile. And the way that I'm going to preface it is, if the Cleveland Browns are picking number 1, I don't believe they're going to pick Josh Allen. I don't believe that they will pick Baker Mayfield. I believe the Cleveland Browns are going to sign a veteran quarterback via free agency or via trade, and then they'll use the number 1 pick on a guy like Sam Darnold. And the reason I say Sam Darnold is just because I think there's a fascination with his intangibles, his it factor, his ability to make plays on script and unscripted. I think separates him from others. Now, is he the most ready to play? No, I say that would probably go to Josh Rosen or even a Baker Mayfield. But in terms of having the stuff that people want and a franchise quarterback, I think Sam Darnold will get the nod. I look for Cleveland to double down on the quarterback position. That is why Sam Darnold may be the number 1 overall pick, but he may not play next year because he may be a guy like Alex Smith or someone else that has been in the position for a year.
Why would Alex Smith decide to go to Cleveland and just be a placeholder then? Or if he struggles in week 6, week 7, and he knows that Hugh Jackson's on the griddle, that he'll just push the Darnold button. Why would any veteran quarterback go to a situation like that, do you think, Bucky?
Well, I think a couple of different reasons. One, Alex Smith may not have a choice because he may be a trade offering as opposed to a free agent. So he may not have a choice in terms of where he goes. But he does have a trust factor with John Dorsey based on what they were able to do coming from San Francisco to Kansas City. If they don't go with Alex Smith, and that means they will have to pay more money for a veteran quarterback, maybe they do delve into the Kirk Cousins sweepstakes. Maybe they do look at one of these other free agents that could be available. But based on what I'm hearing and the way that I think the board is going to shape up, the Cleveland Browns need a veteran quarterback. They need a veteran quarterback because their room is full of 25-year-olds or less guys. They need someone beyond the 20-somethings to help them kind of right the ship. Look for them to sign a veteran and then double down and bring a young quarterback so they can be a placeholder. Remember, Carson Palmer played under Hugh Jackson in Cincinnati. In Cincinnati, Carson Palmer was the number one pick who sat behind John Kitna for a full year. So there is a bit of precedence in taking that approach with a number one pick and a veteran quarterback and letting that veteran quarterback man the position for a year before letting the other guy take over.
So who is everybody buzzing about that wasn't on the radar screen going into Mobile so far, Bucky?
Well, there are a couple of different guys that people are buzzing about, but we'll continue to talk about offense and pass catchers. People are buzzing about James Washington, the receiver from Oklahoma State. We knew that he was fast. We knew that he was dynamic. Has been pretty clean in terms of running routes and being able to stretch the defense. People are excited about him. But the guy that has kind of come off the grid has been Deshaun Hamilton, the wide receiver from Penn State. He might be the best route runner down here. His patience, his timing, his precision, getting in and out of his breaks, separates him from some of the other guys in the group. He has certainly made an impression. And the last guy that everybody wanted to see, Marcus Davenport, the pass rusher from Texas San Antonio, hasn't necessarily dominated, but when you see the size, you see the length, you see the tools and the potential, I expect him to be a top 10 talent, a top 10 player by the time we get to the end of this process.
All right, Bucky, and last one for you. Down there in Mobile, what is the scouts, the coaches, the buzz about Super Bowl 52 and what people think is going to happen next week when the Patriots and Eagles lock it up?
I think it's a pretty compelling matchup. I think when you talk to the people here, they just commend Doug Peterson and the staff for the job that they've done with the Eagles. The way they're able to continue to keep it rolling with Nick Foles in place says a lot about their offensive creativity, their adaptability, and their ability to be patient with a quarterback who is trying to find his way. They did a great job. In the end, they think that the Eagles will have to, quote-unquote, beat the Patriots because we've seen time and time again the Patriots won't lose the game. They will wait for you to mess up. We saw it happen in the championship game where the Jacksonville Jaguars couldn't put them away. There's a belief that if the Eagles get up, they got to continue to put their foot on the gas. They're going to have to close them out because if you let the Patriots hang around with Tom Brady, if they're close, they're within 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. We have seen TB12 do it over and over again. That is the belief from all the coaches and the scouts down here.
So don't take a knee with 2 timeouts left and 55 seconds on the first half clock remaining, Bucky. In other words,
I think the operative phrase is all gas, no brakes. You got to finish. You got to finish the deal. You got to roll it downhill.
Is that what you believe too? Is that your belief about Super Bowl 52?
Yeah. Oh, I do. I mean, I think the Philadelphia Eagles are well positioned to be able to do it. But I think the thing that everyone is holding out are 2 games. The Atlanta Falcons last year in Super Bowl 51 when they dominated the game pretty much for 3 quarters and let it slip. And then the Jacksonville Jaguars who basically did the same thing. There's a self-doubt that creeps in when you want to jump into believe in another team. You wonder, can they really finish the deal with everything on the line? We've seen the Patriots do it time and time again. I mean, you just wonder, can they close it out? I think they're talented enough to do it. It's just a matter of can they finish the deal when they have the opportunity to.
All right, Bucky, safe travels. We'll see you soon back at the shop.
Hey, thanks so much for having me on, Rich.
You got it. It's Bucky Brooks.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.